Okay, so for question one, we have two lines and we're asked which piece of information proves that the lines are parallel. So in this case, for A, x is greater than 90. Well, that doesn't really tell us anything about line K, so it's not A. And then for B, W is less than 90. Well, that also doesn't tell us anything about line K, so it's not B. For C, W equals Y. Well, that's something we already know since W and Y are opposite angles. So based on opposite angle theorem, we already know that W has to equal Y. So C doesn't tell us anything we don't already know. And then for D, Y is equal to Z. Well, this tells us the relation of an angle on L to an angle on K, which is helpful information. So the correct answer is D. Okay, question two. Okay, so for question two, we're told the line of best fit predicts the average price per square foot, and we're asked what is the difference between the predicted and actual price per square foot in 2001. So 2001 is between 2000 and 2002, which would be this dot right here. This dot is at this right here, which is between 70 and 74, which means 72. And then we don't even have to find that line because it just tells us it's at 76. So 76 minus 72 is equal to 4. So the correct answer is C. Okay, question number three. So for question 3, we're asked what is the solution to a given equation. So in this case, we just take the cube root of both sides. That gets us x minus 8 equals 0 still. And then we have add 8 to both sides, x is equals to 8. So the correct answer is 8. We can just plug in if you want to check. 8 minus 8 is 0. 0 to the third power is still 0. So correct answer is D. Okay, question 4. Okay, so question 4. We're told someone writes 30 manuscripts and wants to get them published. What is the minimum cost? So minimum cost, we have to look at this column. And we want to look at professional reviews. So professional reviews minimum cost is $250 per manuscript, so times 30. So 250 times 30 is 7,500, which is answer is A. Okay, question 5. Okay, so for question 5, which of the following could represent the relationship between the number of manuscripts and the cost of acquiring ISBNs? So acquiring our ISBN, so when the number of manuscripts is 0, this would just be 0, so 0, 0, and then all these graphs go up to 5, so when you have 5 manuscripts, it's just the cost per manuscript times 5. And in this case, the minimum, maximum, and mean is all the same. So 125 times 5, which is equal to 625. So we have x is 5 and y is 625, which is not A. B is right. C is above 1,000, and D is also above 1,000. So correct answer is B. Okay. Question 6. Okay, so for question 6, water quality, something, something, and then after a period of time, the algae grew 375% of the original. Which of the following expressions represents 375%? Well, 375%, so the original is 100%, so 375% is 3.75 times the original value. In this case, original value is x. So the correct answer is B. Okay, question 7. Okay, so for question 7, given a table, approximately how many calories from flat are in one serving of soup? So we're called one serving. This is nutritional information. Amount per serving. So this is already in the format that we need. So in this case, percentage total calories from fat is 30%, and the total calories is 203. So we just take 203 times and then 30 as a decimal, which is just 0.3. So 203 times 0.3 is 60.9, which is approximately 61 when you round it. So correct answer is A. Okay, question 8. Okay, so for question 8. Total cost to make one batch of soup is $20. What is the cost per calorie in cents? So we have $20 is equal to cost per calorie. This is batches. One batch is 6 servings. So we have 6 times 203 calories per serving. So 203 calories times 6 is 1218 calories equals, and then we need to convert dollars into cents. So that would just be 2000 cents because we multiply by 100. And then whereas cost per calorie, so that's cents over calorie, so cents over calorie, which means we just take 2000 divided by 1218. So 2000 divided by 1218 would get us 1.642 cents per calorie, which is equal to interest A. Okay, question 9. Okay, so question 9, which value of x satisfies the equivalent equation? So that means left side and right side has to be equal. So we can just plug in all these answers, and whichever one works is the only one that could work. So -1 plus 1 is 0 equals 2 times -1 plus 1 is 0, so 2 times 0 is 0, so 0 is equal to 0 is correct. So the correct answer should be A, but we can just try the others. So 0 plus 1 is +1 equals 2, no. 1.5 equals 1.5 times 2, no. 2 equals 4, no. So correct answer is A. Okay, question 10. Okay, so question 10. We're given an equation. What is the y-intercept of the line? Well, we're given this in slope-intercept form, so this is the y-intercept, the 4, which would just mean y-intercept means x is 0, so 0, comma 4. So the correct answer is D. Okay, question 11. Okay, so question 11. We're given a linear function, which equation defines f? Well, we have the y-intercept as +2, so not -2, and not -2, +2. And then as x increases by 1, y decreases by 2, so the slope of -2, so the correct answer is C. Okay, question 12. Okay, so question 12, 60 meters per second into meters per minute. So if you're getting 60 meters per second, every minute is 60 seconds. So you're just multiplying this value by 60. So 60 times 60 is 3,600 meters per minute. Our answer is D. Okay, question 13. Okay, so for question 13, I would recommend graphing this. So I guess I can just graph it. Okay, so we have Okay, so we have two lines, and we're asked about the two equations. So in this case, we can see that towards the end, the blue line is um, above the red line, and then towards the beginning, we can see that the blue line is less than the red line. So in this case, that means that this function is, that means that the red function is greater until a certain point, and then the blue function becomes greater after that. So in that case, um, so the red function is 1801. So E is initially larger than V, but at some point the V function um, eventually becomes bigger. So the correct answer is C. Okay, question 14. Okay, so question 14. We're told one type item C will be selected at random, so that's a total of 48. What is the probability that will be in category 3? So category 3 is right here, so that's 19. So 19 out of 48 are answer choice B. Okay, question 15. Okay, so question 15, we're told they buy 2 boxes of blue pens, so that's what the 2 means. And each box contains 10 pens, so that's what the 10 is. What is the interpretation of x plus 2? So x plus 2, well, if it says each box contains 10 pens, then this equation must represent the total number of pens, which is 50, so it equals 50. So that means that x plus 2 is the number of boxes. So the correct answer is B. The number of boxes of pens that he buys. Okay, question 16. Okay, so question 16. We have a function, and we're told the slope, which the following defines f, so we just have to find the intercept. So in this case, f of 6 is equal to 4, so we're in the positive x, so we have to move from positive 6 to 0, so we have to go 6 back. So that means we have a slope of negative 6 over 2, which is just negative 3. So when we go left 6, we have to go up 3. And this is at positive 4. So, wait, no, sorry, this is negative 3. So we have to go down 3. So, if this is at positive 4, we have to do 4 minus 3, which is just positive 1. So the correct answer is A. Okay, question 17. Okay, so question 17, we have length is 6 miles longer than width. So we have width plus 6 equals the length. And so if A is the area and X is the width, which are the following models, the area. So if X is width, so then we have width times the width plus 6, so X plus 6. This gives us the area, in which case that would be answer choice D. Okay, question 18. Okay, question 18. Exactly how many solutions does a given equation have? So for absolute values, we just take the positive and negative of the answer, but in this case it's 0, so positive 0 and negative 0 is still 0. So we just have x plus 3 is equal to 0, which only has one solution, so correct answer is B. Okay, question 19. Okay, so question 19. Which of the following statements must be true? So minimum values in A is greater than minimum values in B. Well, the minimum values are the same, so no. Um, range in A is greater than range in B. Range is the highest minus the lowest value, so no. The maximum value for both of them are 80 and the minimum value are both 20, so no. The range is the same. Dataset A has more data values than dataset B. There is no way to tell using a box plot if a dataset has more values or less values. So we have no information about that. And the median of dataset A is greater than the median of dataset B. So the median of A would be here, and the median would be here, which is correct. So correct answer is D. Okay, question 20. Okay, so question 20. There's a tournament of 64 teams, and how many teams remain to play in the fourth round? So in the first round, we start with 64 teams. They all play. And then in the second round, half of these teams win and advance, while the other half are eliminated. So that gets us 32. In the third round, we get half of that, which is 16. And then in the fourth round, we get half of this, which is 8. So the correct answer is that in the fourth round, how many teams remain? 8. Orange choice B. Okay, question 21. Okay, so for question 21, we have uh, Newton, or we have thrust to weight is 27 to 100. We're given weight, so to find thrust, we just have to multiply by 0.27 because this is 100. So I'm going from this to this is pretty simple. We just multiply by 0.27 because 100 times 0.27 is just 27. So in this case, we just take this weight, so 0.27 times 3730,000, which when you multiply that out is 1,007,100. This would be the exact answer, which is closest. So that's the closest, which when you round this, it's closest to answer A. Okay, question 22. Okay, so for this question, you have an equation, you translate it 2 units to the right, so you have some line like this, it's translated 2 units to the right. What is the y-intercept of the translated line? Well, x increased by 2, so we need the y-intercept changed. So in this case, you increased this, you moved this right 2, so this would just be negative 2 over 2, which would just be 1. And since this is a negative slope and you moved it 2 to the right, you have to go up 1 for the new line's y-intercept. So this would just be positive 1. So what is the y-intercept of a translated line? Well, the original y-intercept was 3, and then now you're adding 1, which would just make the new intercept 4. So correct answer is 0, 4. And it's 11:30 or 10:30, so
We'll end the session now.
hmm?
We'll end the session now, right?
Yeah, it's time, right?
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for seeing us. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.